Hello there, and to all who come to this happy place, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Abby and I upload Disney planning content here on my channel every Sunday and Thursday. Now, today's video is a little different. It's kind of a fun video, or at least I like to think it's a fun video. Today we are going to be going over 10 of the types of tourists you will see on your Disney vacation. Now, this is half joking, so don't take this video too seriously. I'm kind of making fun of myself in this video, so just know that it's all in good spirits. And if you enjoy it, I actually have a bunch more types of Disney tourists that I could do a part 2 on. So let me know in the comments section down below if you want to see a part 2. But if you're new here, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you've already subscribed, make sure to leave a thumbs up so that I know you're here. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. The first type of Disney fan is the Disney superfan. Now, some of you might be thinking, Abby, aren't you a Disney superfan? And yes, I would consider myself a superfan. However, I'm not as bad as some, believe it or not. My friends and family would probably tell you otherwise, but it's fine. Your Disney superfan is going to be the person that is like, all they talk about is Disney, all they do is Disney. Again, kind of describing myself here, but it's my job to do this, so I feel like that gives me an excuse. But these people are over the top. They are, everything in their life revolves around Disney. They don't want to go anywhere else. They don't want to do anything else. They just want to go to Disney. And they're a lot of fun, but they also can sometimes be know-it-alls and, you know, their way or the highway when it comes to Disney, and sometimes they tend to be the biggest rule breakers, which is not cool, so don't be that guy. I feel like we could all spot a Disney superfan a mile away, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. The next one's going to be your casual crew. Now, the casual crew is the family that just kind of planned a Disney trip. They didn't really make any reservations. They just booked their hotel, booked their package, and they showed up. They don't have any fast passes. They don't have any dining reservations. They're just going to wing it. And this is great as long as they are okay with missing out on things. So you have to know, if you're a casual crew member, that you're not going to get to walk into Cinderella's royal table and sit down at a table. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the dining reservation. So this is either because they don't want to be tied down or because they just don't know any better. So my job as a travel agent is to make sure they do know better, and that if they do want to do these things, that they do need to plan in advance. But the casual crew may not care. They may be like, nah, we're just gonna eat quick service all week and we'll ride what we ride and then we'll come back in a couple years and do it again. The casual crew also might not know much about Disney as a whole. They might not know what the parks have to offer. They also may be looking for Harry Potter in the parks. Harry Potter is not Disney. That's Universal. Universal Studios is not the same as Hollywood Studios. A lot of people don't know that. They are two different parks, two different companies, and technically competitors. So the casual crew may not know that. The third type is, again, myself, the childless millennial. Now, a year and a half ago or something, this mom went on this tirade on social media about how childless millennials are ruining Walt Disney World for families. And it's really just this laughable paragraph-long rant on Facebook. It was quite long. It was like multiple scrolls. But basically what happened is these childless millennials, meaning someone that was not with a child and they were of millennial age, got in line at the Mickey pretzel stand and was waiting their turn for their pretzel. And this mom walked up with her 3-year-old and I don't know, child. Gets in line, and the line is too long and they're going to miss the parade. So because of this childless millennial who is in front of them in line for the pretzel, this child is missing out on a Mickey pretzel and is now in tears because he can't have a Mickey pretzel because childless millennial is in front of them in line and it's taking too long. So the kid's either going to miss the Mickey pretzel or the parade, and mom wants to watch the parade. It's a whole thing, but that is a brief synopsis of what happened, and it went viral and a bunch of people freaked out. I actually made a t-shirt to signify that I am a childless millennial, just kind of poking fun at the entire incident because it was hilarious. I'll insert a picture. But the childless millennial is someone my age, a little bit older, who's going to Disney because they love Disney. They don't care that it's for kids, because it's not for kids, it's for anyone young and young at heart. So they show up, They do their thing. They don't have kids with them. They can do what they want without worrying about what a kid wants to do. And then they go home. It's not complicated. It's just fun. More and more people are actually going to Disney without kids. It's becoming a much more popular thing. The Disney Renaissance is the time period where a lot of us grew up, which is the late 80s through the 90s, where Disney kind of had a resurgence of successful movies. They had a very serious lull before that, and they weren't doing super well as a company, but movies like The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King brought them back into a successful media kind of presence. So those of us that were raised on those movies are much bigger Disney fans than anyone before us, and will continue to be kind of that age of people that is bringing back the Disney spirit. And I think that's going to carry through with like Frozen and Princess and the Frog and Tangled and all of that. I think it's just going to keep going to where we're having more and more adults who love Disney. But that's a side note. That's a topic for another day. But the childless millennial is becoming a much more common person to encounter in the Disney parks. Number 4 is the ticking time bomb. Now, they are a ticking time bomb for a couple different reasons. Number 1, they are on a tight time schedule. They have every minute of their trip planned. And if they miss an activity, or they are late to a show, or they are late to a fast pass, it has ruined their entire day, and they are never going to get back on schedule, and they might as well have not come because their trip is ruined. And they usually are going to blame it on someone other than just whatever the circumstance was that made it happen. Sometimes it'll be a family member, sometimes it'll be a cast member, but they're going to explode at some point, because your schedule is never going to happen. I have made schedules for myself every time I go to Disney, and they've gotten looser and looser, and they still don't happen. Like, it's just, you can't schedule it and expect it to go that way. You can certainly make a schedule and a to-do list, and this is the order I want to do things, but it's not going to align perfectly with your timing. Like, one line might take longer than you expected, and then maybe one later in the day will shorten it and it'll even out. But the ticking time bomb is going to explode, and you don't want to be around when that happens. Next up, we have the first timer. The first timer is a very special person, whether they are 8 or 80 or 8 months old. It's just fun to watch a first timer go to Disney for the first time. You can really see the magic in their face, again, whether they're young or old. Most people have the same kind of reaction no matter how old they are when they go to Disney for the first time. And it's just an enchanting thing to watch. You get to see the magic through their eyes, especially if you are not a first timer. So I love watching for them in the parks, even if I'm not with them, because it's just magical. Unfortunately, the Disney first timer could be a Disney first timer because they are also number 6, which is the Disney hater. The Disney hater is not necessarily a first timer. They may have been before, but I'm going to do an entire video on how to appease the Disney hater and take them with you on your next Disney trip. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you've subscribed and tapped the notification bell so you don't miss it. But the Disney hater is kind of a downer. They are going to say how much they hate blah blah blah. They hate waiting for the buses. They hate waiting in lines. They hate how much they're paying for food. All of that. They are going to look down on every aspect of Disney. They're going to hate on Disney's prices and how they're a multi-billion-dollar company who charges XYZ for this piece of merchandise. They're a downer, and they can have the potential to ruin the trip for absolutely everyone. So don't be a Disney hater, and if you do have to bring one, make sure that you watch my video to know how you can appease them, because I have a couple in the family, so I know how to handle them. The next is a fun one. That is the World Traveler. Now, the World Traveler is not someone that has traveled around the world. It's someone whose sole purpose is to eat and drink their way around Epcot and the World Showcase. They are very food driven. They are probably going to eat at signature restaurants when they're not in Epcot. They are probably coming for Food and Wine Festival, maybe Flower and Garden Festival, and maybe Festival of the Arts, but usually Food and Wine is the way that they're going to go. They are going to get a drink or a food item in every country. They may drink too much and end up not in great health for the rest of their trip, but, you know, they are doing what they enjoy, and that's all that matters. everyone experiences Disney differently, and this is one way that people do experience it. I should do a story time on my channel about the time that someone did this. They were a world traveler and they ended up jumping out of Spaceship Earth and playing football. If you want to hear that story, let me know in the comments down below. I was working during that and it was interesting. The next category is probably where I see myself fitting in the best, and that is the historian. Now, the historian is all about knowing every inch of the parks, knowing why it is the way it is, how it got there, who created it, who came up with the idea. Every second of their Disney vacation kind of centers around knowing how it came to be. And that's where I see myself. I could give you a fun fact about pretty much any ride on property, and yeah, I'm basically a wealth of useless knowledge outside of Disney World. However, it does make me really good at my job, so it's all fine. The next type of person is really more of a group, and that's the one big happy family. This is usually a multi-generational group of people that are traveling to Walt Disney World together to enjoy a family vacation. They'll probably be wearing matching shirts. The mom will probably be wearing one that says best day ever, and the kids may be in the same thing, and then dad is wearing most expensive day ever, and it's a whole, you'll see them, you'll know who they are. You can pick them out a mile away. But they're super fun, they're usually pretty upbeat, super excited, and they're doing the whole Disney experience. Chef Mickey's, they're doing Cinderella's Royal Table, they've got their park tickets, they're going to all 4 parks, they're staying in a Disney resort. They're a super fun group. And they are probably who most of my clients fall under. Number 10 on my list is the closeted Disney fan, and I have this in here because I suspect multiple of my family members fall into this category. I'm not allowed to ask because I don't make them mad. But these are people that will swear up and down that they hate Disney, they never want to go again, they don't want to go, but they go on their own regularly. So my sister does not watch these videos, I don't think. So I think my sister is a closeted Disney fan. I've thought it for years, but she has an annual pass. She goes to school in Florida, and she was there yesterday and didn't tell anyone, so I think she's a closeted Disney fan and likes it more than she lets on, but because I like it, it's not cool, so she's younger. I think eventually she'll get over that and it'll just be, she'll be a fan, probably a regular fan. I don't see her being a super fan or a historian or anything like me, but eventually I think she'll come into her own and realize there's no turning back. So in the comments section down below, I would love to hear what kind of Disney fan you are. Do you fall into one of these categories? Maybe you fall into one that you don't want to fall into, but you do. Maybe you're a ticking time bomb. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And also, if you would like to see a part 2, let me know. This was just kind of a fun video, but in my next Disney for Dummies video, I'm going to be doing one on how to deal with a Disney hater and what to do about entertaining them while you're on your trip, because it can be a real downer to have someone that is putting a damper on your trip on purpose throughout the whole time. So if we can kind of redirect that energy, that's a great idea and will make for a better trip for everyone. So if you would like to see that video, make sure that you have hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!